first, we feel compelled to talk about breaking news, big news in the Cleveland market when we get it. But when this story crossed yesterday, we kind of all discussed it. We were all like, I don't know what we do with it. But yesterday on the program, for the first 20 minutes, we discussed the 23rd accuser against Deshaun Watson. And then shortly after we ended our show yesterday, came word from Tony Buzbee, who's the attorney that's representing now 23 women, that soon a 24th filing will be coming. And I just don't know what to do with that. I really, if you guys, can anybody help me?
We are not laughing at the 24th category.
We're laughing at the picture.
We're laughing at the picture.
He should be on the cover of like a crappier like magazine than GQ. Whatever the lower version is of GQ, that guy should be on.
He looks like the actor on a cheesy network TV show that's playing the lawyer for the Russian mob.
That's definitely it.
And if we're going to throw darts at the way lawyers look, we can't let Rusty Harden is in the target too.
Oh my God.
No, we just haven't gotten to him yet. But he looks awful too.
What do we make of this? The 24th woman.
I make nothing of it, honestly.
At this point, it's looking bad, man.
At this point, at 22, it was okay.
I mean, but in a reverse situation, right? Like he's just saying, like he's just adding numbers. Like we don't understand.
Yeah.
That's the strategy. There will be a 24th coming. He's just throwing 24.
He's slow dripping announcements for more filing.
No name. The person has no face. It's just a 24th. He's just hoping that the numbers just keep piling up. We say, you know what? I can't take it. We got to break. That's it.
But for those of you who watch the show Stranger Things, do you watch Stranger Things?
Sure, I've seen it.
Yes. You know, the kids that have these telekinetic powers, they don't have names. They're just numbers.
Yes.
That's what this has become. It shouldn't be that, but
Mike, you haven't said anything yet.
Well, personally, I'd rather see the number going down rather than up. That's just me.
That is true.
And secondly, I really was just looking forward to getting in here because G. Bush has been probably the most adamant sort of defender of this, and I was just looking forward to him saying, this is good news for Deshaun. And let me tell you why.
But he went the other way today.
No, I know. So
it's not looking good.
That's how you know that it's real when he's not saying that this is a positive turn for some reason. So
it's hard to defend.
It's not great.
No, it's definitely not great.
Just gotta wait and see how it plays
why
out.
does this change anything for you?
No, I'm just saying.
At this point,
I mean, you got to think about it. Like they're just running. This is Sesame Street. 1, 2.
That's the count, in case anyone forgot.
Bro. Like you keep just running these up, and now this is obviously the game plan. So they're like, oh, practice is starting. Did he save 5 of these people? Did he say, yo, you're not in on the original team.
Right.
You're on the second team.
Yeah, we're going to second wave. We're going to
second
hold
wave.
that.
We hold allegations. He didn't even do nothing that bad to you.
He did
we
say,
hold
though,
this.
when he was on 92.3, if you guys heard the interview, I hope I'm not misremembering this, but it seems to me that Jason asked him, Jason Lloyd of The Athletic, who's doing part of the interview, asked him, are there more coming? And I thought at the time Buzbee said he wouldn't be surprised.
Right.
And I thought he said in there were a few women who he found not credible that he didn't want to take on. Mm-hmm. And if that's the case, and now he's taking them on, I feel like it's a Hail Mary move almost.
Well, we don't know that
Buzbee.
These are women that had not been credible. They could be new women.
No, but we do know that he had previously spoken to the 23rd. The 24th we know nothing about. But as we're learning more and more about this 23rd accuser, they had been in contact with one another.
Yes.
Buzbee and the woman. Why wasn't she included? She said it's because she wasn't sure she wanted to sue until she saw the HBO piece.
This is a clear strategy, and it started with the HBO piece. They want to keep this in the spotlight. They want to keep it in the news cycle. If they would have had the 23rd and 24th accuser come out and then done the HBO thing, you get it all out at once, and that's not as good for the plaintiffs. If you do it this way, then you say, now there's a 23rd, now there's a 24th. You're extending the news cycle. They want to keep it in the news because they're fishing for a settlement, obviously, and they are pressuring them for a settlement.
I agree with you.
And they're like, we can just keep dripping this out while you're trying to get into minicamp and stuff like that and get your team together. Or you guys could settle, and we could end this right now, and that's what he's fishing for.
What we learned from I'll ask you this in a second. The Johnny Depp decision was yesterday on the defamation. And
everyone needs our legal analysis on that.
No, but here's where I'm fascinated to see if you guys think that we've hit some overcorrection in society. Mm-hmm. With the Me Too movement, it was all women must be believed. Mm-hmm. And whenever I said yesterday on the show, you weren't here, whenever you use the word all on anything, you're just wrong to begin with, because you can never be that inclusive with everything. But yesterday, I think, Stephanie Haney, our legal analyst, and I talked yesterday about this. She was as stunned as I was that the verdict went towards Johnny Depp. Now, she also got a $2 million settlement or an award because his lawyers had defamed her. But I was surprised that this is really one of the most public cases in which a woman has come forward and told what she considers to be her story, and a jury looked at it. To prove defamation against a public person is next to impossible. It is such a high bar to clear. That's why you rarely see celebrities sue for defamation, because the standard is so high. He won, and he won decisively, and I'm wondering if anybody in the legal community is looking at this saying, Amber clearly did not hold up in her testimony. I mean, it was, for those that were watching even casually, it was clear she had a lot of holes in her story and a lot of problems. That, I think, is an example of how a case like that can go sideways in a hurry.
Yeah.
If you're not buttoned up on your story, and she had so many holes, his lawyers poked holes everywhere, and the jury saw them, and the jury at the end of the day gave what I found to be an astonishing verdict.
Jay, I'll be honest, I knew it was going on, but I wasn't really paying attention because I didn't care about that case at all. But what I will
You're better
say,
for that, by the way.
Thank you. But what I will say is, I think we want to all be careful in, now everything's gone too far, so now we got to fight for the men again. There's the list of non-famous cases where women have been beaten, women have been bad things, and nothing came of it because whatever reason or another, because the system always screws them over, is the case. There's always going to be shady people on both sides. There's always going to be, most of the time, I think when women make an accusation, they're probably telling the truth. These celebrity cases are different examples.
Yeah.
Most of these cases are not celebrity cases in the real world.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah.
I think maybe in these big famous cases with Deshaun Watson, Johnny Depp, there's more likely to be some shadiness there. I think in the real world, we can't combine the two. Because most of these cases
I hope
involve
we
the real
can't.
world.
I hope real life never mirrors Hollywood.
I'm gonna tell you this. I would have one reservation, right? In the public, when you play, the public court, and you're trying to get that sympathy, and you're trying to do that. One thing, we got really short attention spans. If the NFL comes out and says, "Hey, we suspended Deshaun Watson for 4 games," guess what happens to your audience? They all go away. We're not looking at that no more. You just know he got 4 games. How are you going to slow play this? Now, during the season, they can keep bringing people out. Deshaun Watson has already served his 4 games. It's done. There's no more talk. Nobody else is going to be watching for the 24th.
I think Buzbee's leveraging what might happen to Deshaun Watson.
Yes.
He's using that as leverage to get him to settle.
Yes, but what happens when that leverage is gone?
But that'd be very interesting. We probably won't hear much about new accusers.
The bottom line is, the only facts we know is this is a civil case. He's been proven guilty of nothing. They couldn't get an indictment on him. None of us have any clue whether any of this is true or not, besides him and the women, and that's it. So nothing in the end, to me, has changed in the last couple of days.
I don't think it has either.
No.
But I think the one thing we all agree on is Buzbee's really putting the pressure on for a settlement.
Yes.
And I think that kind of looks like when you put 2 of your accusers on a TV show, to me that looks like a Hail Mary. It does.
He does seem like he's getting desperate.
And now the slow news drip on 23, 24, to your point, where does that end?
Right.
I think he's angling more for a settlement than Harden and Watson are, and I also think Watson is dug in. He doesn't believe he's done anything wrong, and he's not ready to write a check that he doesn't feel he needs to write.
And he still ain't spoke yet. When we gonna get
No,
that-
I mean,
that
other
press
than
numbers?
the introductory news conference.
Right.
He said nothing at all yesterday. All right, now, on this note, there were players that spoke yesterday at OTAs. Myles Garrett was asked specifically about, and I thought his answer was brilliant. Let's play it so you can hear it. But here's Myles Garrett talking about Deshaun Watson's character and as a player and everything else. Stevie?
I think a lot of people here were conflicted over hearing, some of the accounts of what went on allegedly what happened down in Texas. Doesn't character stand for something, though?
It does, but I don't know what happened. You don't know what happened. No one in this room really knows what happened other than the people that were involved. and I can't move one way or another, based on hearsay. So I have to just move with the character and the man that I know from day to day. And it's a good guy from what I've seen, from what I played against, and what I've seen in the building. It's not every day that you grab your whole offense and take them to the Bahamas. You treat them, and you're respectful to the coaches. From what I've seen, he's walked the right way, and whether he's had a slip up or not, I'm not the judge, I'm not the jury or the executioner. So I'm here to play a game, and whether we agree or disagree with who he is off the field, that's yet to be seen. But as far as the guy I know on the field, he's special.
My reaction to that is leave it to the smartest guy on the team to say one of the smartest things I've heard so far when asked about this. I thought he kind of put the questioner in his place when he said, "I don't know what happened. Do you know what happened?"
Slip up was not the best word, but
No,
everything else. Everything else was good.
I agree with that. What's your reaction?
I thought he did exactly what he's supposed to do. It sounds like he's been prepped. Sounds like somebody got a hold of him. Myles, you moving ahead. You've been more vocal in years past, coming up. Actually, to be truthful, this is your team. Baker's not here. You're the defensive guy, so they gonna ask you these questions. I thought he did a great job at answering because it was matter of fact. He's just like, look, man, I'm here to play a game. I can only go by what I know of the guy, and for what I know of the guy so far, seems like to be a good guy. Other than that, we'll just wait and see.
What the folks that may be mad don't want him here or think. What would they want us to do? If we're saying we want him to play right now, based on the information we have at this moment in time, what would the fans that are mad about that, what would they like us to do?
Right.
What could we do?
They want us to judge him on what we're hearing. And what Myles said was, I'm not paying any attention to what we're hearing.
Yeah. Because
how many times have you heard something that's not true?
Yeah.
I'm basing my opinion of the man on what I see with my own eyes.
Right.
And isn't that kind of what we've learned?
Bigger picture, though, it does stink that they've got to be in this situation where they're going to be talking about this stuff.
Absolutely.
And he did do a nice job. I think he could have said a little less, honestly. Saying he's a pretty moral guy. He took us all to the Bahamas. That's not the best line when you think about it. And people can't relate to that who are not on a professional football
team.
Plus,
he just signed a guaranteed contract for $250 million.
So that's what he knows. But that's why he thinks he's nice. But you don't even have to say that. Just say he's been good so far. It just sucks that they have to dance around this stuff. These are professional football players who are supposed to be playing football. We shouldn't be parsing his words and trying to find terms like slip up, which I'm sure I would have used too in that situation when asked to speak contemporaneously. Yeah. You know what I mean? But I just couldn't do it. So it stinks that he has to do that. But he did as good of a job as possible, I think. It's just the less said, the better, I would say, gentlemen.
Yeah.
Right now.
Well, that's certainly the tactic
until
Deshaun's taking.
Until we get decisions, it's all speculative, and we're all saying, well, if he is bad, then I don't like it, and if he seems good so far, everybody should just shut up and wait for this to go through, and just until then, it should just be like, I think we've said everything we can about that. Let's talk about football.
You know what's so crazy is this is kind of weird. I was watching yesterday. I'm into these games now where you can watch on YouTube old school games. I was watching the '92 NBA Finals Game 7, Knicks versus Bulls, right?
Man, you were bored.
I'll bet your wife was thrilled.
You were bored.
Eastern Conference Finals. And I don't believe it was I don't think it was Game 7.
Starks dunk?
Yeah, I think yes. I think it was Game 3. And Chicago was down 0-2. They lost both games in New York. And prior or after losing that game, Michael Jordan went to Atlantic City.
Yeah. I remember the story.
I was caught. Nowadays, I think that our players nowadays, because of social media or whatever, they just get more of more stuff and there's more coverage. Mm-hmm. No, they were giving Michael Jordan a business. It was a firestorm, and we think that nowadays it's different because of social media. But no, they were all over him.
G. Bush, what would have been different if that were today is the player probably wouldn't have gone because he would know that he would be on a million different Twitter feeds with pictures and videos. So now they just can't even do that.
It was easier to cover that stuff up then. There was a better relationship between the beat reporters and the players then. Mm-hmm. They had a friendly. They wouldn't throw him under the bus.
It was like covering a president, when people just watch John F. Kennedy cheating on somebody in a pool, and they're just don't report on this, boys.
Well,
we'd never do it.
Story with that going way back to the 20s. Babe Ruth was was a notorious womanizer.
Yeah.
There was a story that the media car, it was a night trip, and they were going from city to city. Babe Ruth runs through the media car, I believe mostly naked, with
Eating a hamburger.
with the woman running behind him.
Yeah.
And one of the reporters, this is the story, allegedly turned to the other reporter and said, "It's a good thing we didn't see that, or we'd have to write about it."
Yeah.
So they
Yeah.
did. They
They
used to
got drunk
cover up
every
a
night,
lot of
so-
that stuff. You know?
Yeah.
Not anymore.
Nope, you can't hide anymore.
Because everybody's a reporter. If you have a phone and a
Right.
Twitter account,
Yeah.
and you're at a casino where Jordan shows up the night before a game,
Yeah.
that's blocked by, that breaks Twitter.
Right.
2:30,
You know?
2:30 a.m. Hey, but it worked out well for him. He won that series and about 6 more championships.
he did
So
okay.
Yeah, no, he
forget
did
about
I think
that.
he still would have done it even in a Twitter age. He would have been like, I don't care.
Yeah,
It was
because
Michael
he's Jordan,
Come
right?
on.
He's Jordan.
Yeah.
He just would have rented the casino out, closed it
Yep.
down, taken everybody that works there's phone, and then come in.
Yeah.